Yo, look at this, stupid, the teen shouted, pointing his phone at the elderly man kneeling on the sidewalk, struggling to gather crushed soda cans into a torn plastic bag. The man wore a faded army jacket covered in patches and medals, and a cap that sat slightly crooked over his thinning white hair. His hands shook, not from fear, but from age and exhaustion, as he reached for a can that had rolled under a shopping cart. His cane lay on the ground beside him, forgotten for the moment, as laughter erupted from the group of teens standing in a half-circle. One boy pretended to limp, mocking the man's slow movements, while another cackled behind his phone, live-streaming the whole thing like it was comedy gold. "Betty fought in World War TikTok," one sneered. No one helped, no one stepped in, just laughter, camera flashes, and the heavy silence of bystanders pretending not to see. The old man tried to push himself up, but his knee buckled and he fell back to one hand, groaning softly. Still, not a single person moved. Passers-by walked a little faster. People glanced and looked away. The group of teens laughed harder, emboldened by the crowd's indifference. And then, everything changed. A man in a long black coat stepped through the circle. He didn't yell, he didn't shove, he didn't say a word. He simply walked forward with quiet purpose and stood directly in front of the boy with the phone. The teen blinked, confused, and then scoffed. "You want my phone, old man?" The stranger didn't answer. He just extended one hand, palm open, and waited. For a moment, no one breathed. Something about the stillness, his calm, controlled presence, shut the boy up. Slowly, hesitantly, the teen lowered the phone and stepped back. The man knelt down beside the veteran, ignoring the crowd, and began picking up the scattered cans. One by one, gently, without saying a word, the others stopped filming. A few lowered their heads. The boy who mocked him looked away, ashamed. After gathering everything, the man helped the veteran to his feet with a steady hand. The veteran looked stunned, unsure of what to say. And then, without warning, the stranger stood at attention and saluted. A crisp, respectful, perfect military salute. The old man stared at him in disbelief before slowly raising his own trembling hand and returning it. The moment froze. The crowd around them, once loud and cruel, was now quiet as a grave. And then the stranger finally spoke. His voice was low, but carried weight. "You just laughed at someone who gave more than you'll ever understand." No shouting, no drama, just truth, pure and heavy. He turned without another word and walked away into the night, disappearing as quietly as he came. The teens said nothing. One of them bent down, picked up the man's cane, and handed it to him. "I'm sorry," he whispered. The others followed in silence, their laughter replaced by something much heavier: regret. That night, the store's security footage leaked online. Not the video the teens had taken, but the real one. The bullying, the silence, the man in the black coat, the salute. It exploded online. Tens of millions of views. Comments flooded in. This made me cry. That stranger is a hero. Humanity restored. But no one knew who he was. He never came forward. No interviews, no spotlight. Just vanished. The veteran's name was Carl Jensen. 3 tours, 2 Purple Hearts, homeless for the last 2 years, collecting cans to survive. He never asked for pity, but after that video, the world gave him respect. Donations poured in. Strangers paid his rent. A local veterans center gave him a place to stay. Schools invited him to speak, and some of the very teens who had mocked him came back, to apologize, to help, to listen. One even called him Sir. Sometimes the loudest lesson doesn't come from anger. It comes from action. Quiet, powerful, human action. No shouting, no threats. Just doing the right thing when no one else will. Because sometimes you don't need to say a word to change the world. You just need to step forward. Before we wrap up this story, drop a comment and let us know where you're watching from. Don't just scroll, we're reading every single one. If this story touched you, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know how you feel in the comments.